Hello everyone, this is Naoya Okano from the Los Angeles Gedatsu Church. In my sermon today, I'd like to honor the founder of our church, Gedatsu Kongo, by introducing you to two sacred gifts, Goshinpo and Kurogofu, which he left for us. Goshinpo and Kurogofu are kinds of talismans. Generally in Japan, a talisman is a paper charm on which is written a name of God or Buddha, Sanskrit characters, or mantra. Protective amulets and paper plaques or charms are also forms of talismans. Goshinpo and Kurogofu are unique to Gedatsu, but are not familiar to most American Gedatsu members, even some long-time members. So I'd like to explain what are Goshinpo and Kurogofu, how they are used, and why they are effective. First, Goshinpo. Goshinpo may be called a form of spiritual medicine, which was manifested by Gedatsu Kongo through divine revelation. When one suffers from physical pain, mental anguish, or other illness, and traditional treatments do not bring relief, Goshinpo may be administered to improve one's condition. Goshinpo consists of a sheet of paper on which are written Sanskrit characters of the five wisdoms of the universal Buddhas: Dainichi Nyorai, Ashika Nyorai, Hosho Nyorai, Amida Nyorai, and Shaka Nyorai. These characters are written in such a way that Dainichi Nyorai appears on the inner circle and is paired with each of the other Nyorais on an outer circle. Each sheet contains two sets of Goshinpo, so there is a total of 8 pairs of Goshinpo on each sheet of paper. Next, I'd like to explain Kurogofu. Kurogofu is also a paper talisman which possesses magnificent power and absolute blessing through the power of the Holy Goho. Unlike Goshinpo, Kurogofu is manifested in a tiny piece of paper on which is written the Gochi Nyorai, all 5 Sanskrit characters of Buddhas. Although it is small, Kurogofu is a great talisman whose immeasurable holy power is charged by the intense prayer of Gedatsu Kongo. How are Goshinpo and Kurogofu used? Both Goshinpo and Kurogofu are each consumed internally by folding or wadding the sheet into a small ball and swallowing it with amacha holy tea. Kurogofu is easy to prepare because it is just a single small sheet. One sheet of Goshinpo, however, contains 8 Goshinpo, so we need to separate each pair of 2 characters by hand. Scissors or other mechanical cutters is not allowed. In the prayerful attitude, we thank the universal life force, or God, and Gedatsu Kongo, and ask their permission to receive the Goshinpo or Kurogofu. We earnestly chant Namu Gedatsu Kongo in our mind, then swallow it with amacha holy tea. I'm sure that most of you feel that even though the written characters for Goshinpo and Kurogofu are different, their purposes are alike. So let me briefly explain the differences between them. In most cases, Goshinpo is given. As I explained, when one suffers from illness or physical or mental conditions which don't improve, Goshinpo may be administered with prayers for recovery. It can also be taken in anticipation of surgery. For example, I gave 2 Goshinpo to my pregnant wife prior to the delivery of our baby. 1 Goshinpo was given a week before the due date and another on the day of delivery for safe childbirth. On the other hand, Kurogofu is given only when one's condition is critical, such as stage 4 cancer in a young person, a serious injury, or lack of consciousness because of stroke or heart attack. In other words, Kurogofu is mainly used to save the lives of those who are between life and death. In cases where a person can't swallow the Kurogofu, it may be given to a family member like a spouse, sibling, parent, or child with permission by God and Gedatsu Kongo. Or in cases of a serious bodily injury, the Kurogofu can be applied to the injured area. The Gedatsu minister determines which talisman should be given, but in most cases, Goshinpo is appropriate. Lastly, as to the effectiveness of Goshinpo and the Kurogofu, I'd like to share my opinion. If you are a sincere Gedatsu member, I believe you truly understand and experience the divine power of Amacha Holy Tea blessing to purify deceased souls like your ancestors. In my previous video about Holy Tea blessing, I explained that the miraculous ability of Holy Tea blessing to bring relief to suffering spirit and purify negative karma was created through the combination of 3 key elements: the sacred power of Goho, the Holy Tea itself, and our sincerity and love. Both the Goshinpo and the Kurogofu contain the holy Goho. When we swallow them, we also drink Amacha Holy Tea, and we pray sincerely to God and Gedatsu Kongo. In other words, we are fulfilling the 3 key elements that are needed to generate a miraculous effect. In short, I believe that taking these holy talismans is the same as performing Holy Tea blessing for our own body. Archbishop Eizan Kishida once said that Holy Tea has the power to purify souls just by offering the tea to them. So drinking the Holy Tea and Goshinpo is the same as giving Holy Tea blessing to ourselves. As humans, we depend on the health of 3 things: body, mind, and the soul or spirit for our overall well-being. Disorders of our body and mind should be treated through medical care and improving lifestyle habits. However, when these don't bring relief, we have another option, a spiritual approach, which can give us a greater chance to improve our body and mind. Finally, it's important to realize that Goshinpo and Kurogofu are sacred gifts from Gedatsu Kongo, full of his love and compassion. While these gifts are available to all Gedatsu members and friends who need them, we should treat them with the greatest respect and be careful not to abuse their use. Goshinpo and Kurogofu are available at both the Los Angeles Gedatsu Church and the Sacramento Spiritual Center, so please contact me or your local church for assistance. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful day.